Howdy folks, welcome back to part 9 of our Turbo 350 disassembly. We're going to go ahead and start removing our intermediate steels and clutches. Just a refresher here, we went ahead and we got our tail shaft off. We got our valve body and our shift linkage removed. We got everything all in bags. We got everything labeled. So the first thing we'll go ahead and do is we're going to remove our coolant lines right here. They take a 15. Some of yours might be a 9/16, but these happen to be a 15. We'll go ahead. This is a little newer Turbo 350 here. We'll take these on out. Some of the newer Turbo 350s have metric. Some of the older ones take just regular standard. So this is one reason why we're rebuilding this here. So they had mud divers in there. Now this is a good reason why you need to rebuild these. See that? Anyway, we'll clean that out. We're going to clean everything up. So now we got these out. We're actually going to take, this is a spark control switch right here. And we're going to pull this off and then we're going to delete it. Because we're not going to use none of that. This is just something for emissions that GM did. And we're going to get rid of this and delete it. And as you can see down in here, mud divers have been in here. See that? Now that's just another reason, like I said, why you need to, it's good just to go through these transmissions. Because if I would have took this transmission and put it in my truck like that with all them mud divers and all in there, it would have messed everything up. Would have clogged all my cooling lines up, wouldn't have cooled right, and would have had all kinds of issues. This is why it's getting redone. That, and we're going to take this transmission and we're actually going to restore it back to original. Because I believe it has a shifter kit put in it. And we're going to return it back to original. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our transmission mount off. That happens to take another 15. Most of the older stuff takes a 5/8, but these happen to be a 15. Now again, somebody's been in this, so they could have just put the on bolts on here. We'll go ahead and remove these. You know, it's something else too, like on the old stuff, is you don't know how many people have been in it. And it's just a good idea just to go through everything really good, like I am. As you can see, this is made in Korea. You know, so this has been put on there sometime. Another thing you want to watch out for too is, you know, this one's no good. It's all dry rotted and everything. See? It's actually splitting right there. Actually doesn't look too old. But anyway, got a transmission mount off. Now, I went ahead and I've outlined our check balls again, just in case for y'all that don't know. We got one right here, and we got one right here. Actually took a permanent marker and marked it. And you got one right here, and then one right here, just to help y'all out. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and remove our wave plate. You can actually use a pick, like I have right here. Alright, so the first thing will come off is just the wave plate. I've already marked it. Number 1. This is a good way to keep it in order, so I put a 1 on there. So there's our wave plate. Next thing is you're going to have a steel. There's number 2 right there. Transmission fluid kind of washed it off. Next thing, guys, we got a clutch. You know, this can go either this way or this way. You want to inspect these and make sure they are still actually present and not burned up. Same way with your steels. You want to make sure it's no burn marks or anything like that. Alright, so we got another steel. Now keep in mind, these only go one way. See, there, I put number 3 on there. There we go. But these only go one way. So keep that in mind. Clutches, you know, they only go one way as well. And another clutch. There's our steel. This is number 4. And keep in mind, see how these go in? These line up into the case like that. These only go in one way. So there's our steel. See? I don't know if y'all can see that or not. This one's actually a little bit of a burn mark on it right there. There we go. You could probably reuse this, but my kit has actually got all kinds of new steels in it. So we're just going to replace them. Those are not like terribly burned up. You know, I wouldn't reuse anything like that. Alright, so we'll take our pick right here. Grab hold in the middle here. Just pull it forward. There we go. There's our clutch, and then this is our pressure plate. Go ahead and remove that. That's why it's good to have a pick. Reach up under it like that, pull it forward. There we go. One way you can tell, see how this is flat? See how the end goes like that? These only go one way. So there's our first set of clutches and steels. Now a wave plate, when I say a wave plate, this is our wave plate here. You might think that it's bent. It's not. It's actually supposed to be like that. That's our wave plate. And when I say these go in one way, you know, these steels right here, now they only go in one way. See that? They only go in one way. See that? See? You have one end, you got one tang right here, there's one. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I try and flip this over here, this is just an example, you know. See, it won't go in, no matter what. See how it hits up in here? See, these are only go one way. There's no way you can put them in, you know, the wrong way. You know, they always go in like this. So that's the only way they'll go in. And another way you can tell too is, see this notch right here? There's a little notch cut in here. Okay? That's what helps line this steel up. and your pressure plate. All that good stuff. Steels only go one way. See, there's the end right there. See that? Your steels only go one way, so keep that in mind. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our band out. Now, it's hooked on the case down in here. So you want to take a pick, or you can take a long flathead screwdriver. So we'll push this up like this. See how it lifts off the case like that? Okay. Now we should be able to remove our band. Alright. So here's our band. Our band only goes one way. Now this band's in really good shape. We'll make sure it's material there. Just like your frictions down here. We'll make sure that the material's there. It's really the same way as just like a Saginaw 4-speed or Muncie or anything like that. Anything that's got a manual transmission. You want to make sure your material's there. You want to make sure it's not burnt up. And this one's in really good shape. You can actually reuse that. And you just want to make sure your material's there. You know, it's kind of like brake pads. You want to make sure that it's not worn down to the steel. These are in really good shape. These are your frictions. Okay, these are your frictions. Your steels. Your wave plate. Your band. Last but not least, some people call this pressure plate. Some people call it just another steel. This one's a little thicker. You can actually change the thickness of this to check your end play. Your end play is when you got your pump and everything in it. Is when you pull in the shaft backward and forward like that. That's how you check your end play. And you can hook a dial indicator on your bell housing right here. That's how you check your end play. You can actually change the thicknesses of these. You know, if you got too tight of an end play, you can actually get one that's a little thinner. Or if you need more, you can get one that's a little thicker. You can actually take a micrometer here, put it on the ends like that, and see what your thickness is. And see, this has got a marking on here too. It's an O. It means it goes like this. See how it's got these 4 ends? 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, these could only go in one way. See that? There it goes against that. Just like that. So don't really worry about that. About your clutches or your steels. You know, they only go in one way. Don't be afraid of that. You know, that's one thing I'm trying to teach in this video here. It's not just about this transmission, but just life in general. You know, don't be afraid to get out there and do stuff. You know, this is going to save me a lot of money doing it myself. And I hope it helps a lot of people out there. So the next thing we'll go ahead and do is we'll pull our drum out here. So we'll just pull it forward. Okay. Just like that. And we'll set this straight on up. This is our forward drum. Okay. I actually pulled everything all together. Okay. Then you got a thrush washer right here. Now see how it's got these 3 ends on it like that? Then you have 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. It's only one way this can go. That side goes down. This side goes up. It's in just like that. One thing would help me a lot is if I had a transmission piece where I can actually turn this thing up on in. It makes it a lot easier. That's how that goes in there. We want to keep that there. There's actually a snap ring, I believe. We have one here on our forward drum. There we go. Hang on a second, folks. Let's get this apart. There we go. Okay, this is our forward drum. Got them separated. Then you got a Torrington bearing right here. You want to make sure and they spin. Don't feel like they're gritty or anything like that. This one spins good. This transmission's really not that bad. You want to make sure it's not cracked anywhere through here. Anything like that. So we'll come back and disassemble the forward drums here. Alright, the next thing we got is our first set of planetaries. So here's our thrush washer. Pull that on off here. One thing that helps too is have a magnetic tray like that. That way it keeps everything in order. Now this is our planetaries. Just pull it straight on towards you. See, one way to check it. See how our sun shell's spinning? It's actually the direction of the rotation that the car was running. So you just pull straight on up out of this. You have another thrush washer there. There's our second thrush washer. This one has 4 on it. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on there. See, that lines up just like that. And we have a snap ring right here. I don't know if y'all could see that. There's actually a snap ring that goes around this. So you have to remove the snap ring in order to get this planetary gear set out. And to remove the rest of our assembly here. Now see that? I actually have a little bit of water in here. Now that's probably just from it sitting outside. You know, I know that's not from being in the vehicle or anything like that. I have no idea what this transmission's really out of. I mean, it could be anywhere from a Camaro to a truck, a GMC. Now this is a short tail. I'd say it's a car. So it could be out of a Camaro or Impala.